The Pope has just passed away. What are the next steps? What did Pope Francis actually die from, and what did his final testament say? When will the upcoming Papal Conclave begin? All this and more brought to you today by your Church Headlines. Hello and welcome to a special edition of Church Headlines, your regular Catholic news recap. I'm Brother Darius Lawrence. Let's dive right in. As I'm sure you have all heard, the Holy Father Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday at 7:35 in the morning in his apartment at the Domus Santa Marta in the Vatican. The Holy Father had been suffering from the results of his recent bilateral pneumonia, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes, but the Vatican declared that the Holy Father ultimately died as a result of a stroke and irreversible heart failure. Although it was known that the Pope's health was frail, the news came somewhat as a surprise, since the day before he had decided to appear in public in St. Peter's Square in order to give the customary Easter Urbi et Orbi blessing, and he even went around the square in the Popemobile. In hindsight, it seems it was his way of saying farewell to the people of the world that he had dedicated his life to. The Pope's body currently lies in wake in the chapel of the Domus Santa Marta, where the cardinals and those who collaborated with him in the Vatican are able to visit him and pray for the eternal repose of his soul. My co-host, Brother Bernardo Ross, and I were blessed to be able to pray by his body there a little while ago. His body will be transferred at 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, April 23rd, to St. Peter's Basilica for a viewing open to the public. The Vatican Office of Liturgical Celebrations has confirmed that the Pope's funeral will be taking place on Saturday, April 26th, at 10 o'clock in St. Peter's Basilica. Many world leaders have confirmed their presence at the funeral, including US President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, British Prime Minister Starmer, and Argentina's President Milei, among others. As stipulated in his final testament, following the funeral mass, the Pope's body will be transferred to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where he will be buried, unlike his predecessors who were buried in St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope had asked for this in his testament, saying that he had always entrusted his life to the Mother of our Lord, Mary Most Holy, and therefore he desired to be buried in her basilica. Pope Francis used to visit the Basilica of St. Mary Major both before and after every international trip he made, praying there more than 150 times. His testament asked that he receive a simple tomb in the ground without particular decoration, and with his name Franciscus in Latin as the only inscription. He also shared that he had offered the suffering of the last part of his life to the Lord for the sake of world peace and brotherhood amongst peoples. As for the upcoming conclave that will elect the new pope, the motu proprio Normas Non Nullas, which contains the current legislation concerning conclaves, stipulates that the cardinal electors must wait for at least 15 full days from the moment when the Holy Father dies, but can wait no longer than 20 days in total. This means that the upcoming conclave will have to begin at some points between the 6th and the 11th of May. The cardinals take an oath of absolute secrecy at the beginning, and there are 4 rounds of voting every day until a candidate receives 2/3 of the vote. Ever since the beginning of the 20th century, the average length of a conclave has been 3 days, and both Pope Benedict XVI and Pope Francis were elected after 2 days. And that wraps up this special edition of Church Headlines. I'd like to invite us all to say a prayer for the repose of the soul of our Holy Father. Thank you for joining us as we keep you informed on the latest news from the Catholic world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Until next time, thank you and God bless.